Since you're recording this, Craig, and everyone's
Yes.
going to hear it, I'd just like to call out the bozos that didn't make it today.
Absolutely. Please do so. David Sidoni, which, by the way, it was David's birthday yesterday. So if you guys talked to David,
Happy birthday, David.
happy birthday. Yeah. And so anyway,
Too bad he wasn't on this call. He missed us all singing.
Yeah, you missed all, David, you
Maybe that's
missed
why
all
I didn't come.
Well, it gets worse than that. Because, David's known as the unicorn real estate agent. Do you guys know that?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of markets himself as the the unicorn real estate agent. And so I was all prepared to give him a nice happy
what he
birthday.
does is
what
he does is he started a podcast because he comes from a performance background, and he's telling these first-time home buyers, that's what it's about, that you can't just work with any agent. You need these like needle in a haystack unicorn agents, and then when he gets referrals, he's able to refer to all of us. But he's setting them up as people that will hold their hands, and he kind of sets it up. So that's where the unicorn comes from.
Yeah, he always introduces me to my leads as the unicorn in San Diego.
Yeah, David just sent me a lead from the Unicorn Nation. And so now I'm part of the Unicorn Nation.
Cool.
Well,
you wear your horn well.
Well, you know what?
great.
I can't wait to get the t-shirt and hat.
There you go.
All right, so David, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, David.
All right, I'm going back to my old screen. Okay, there we go. All right, so moving along here. So, why don't I just go back over, call you out, and then tell us one thing that you're just grateful for right now. One thing that maybe is it's a lesson that you're learning or relearning in your business that you can share with us. And then the third would be, how do you deal with buyers right now with kind of what's happening in the marketplace, and what are you finding is working for you? So Mark, would you like to start?
Oh, wow. 3 things, huh?
One, two, three.
I'm grateful to be with this group, number one. But also just grateful for my coach keeping me on the right track, which it just seemed like about a month ago, before we had our last session, I had a lot of irons in the fire, but nothing was happening. And there was a lot of, I was getting impatient. And she kept saying, you know what, keep doing what you're doing and be patient. And so for me, I'm just grateful for having that as a accountability to keep me focused. And then from that, it all just in 1 week, it all opened up. And so I'm just very happy about that. It's great to be in the game and to be, lots of moving parts. And I like that energy. It's a great adrenaline rush. I've got fantastic momentum going into the spring market, which I'm very excited about. So that's kind of, I think I answered the first 2 questions. Is that right?
Yeah. And then how are you dealing with the buyer situation?
Yeah, the buyers. Interesting. I think the ones that have been in my car a while and we've written offers, there's not much of an education process. They know what it's going to take to get a house. But what I'm doing with new buyers is I'm relaying stories from the trenches. And this is stuff that they're not going to really maybe do a Google search, but I'm really giving them, detailed accounts of what may happen from past offer presentations. And so they've got a good understanding of what they're in for before we even write an offer on our first property. So to me, that's been real helpful. And then again, it's just, being the sounding board for the frustration. I know we wear many hats, and part of that is psychological and keep buyers focused and not, not saying, you know what, I quit. You have to have good dialogues to say, well, this is your goal. Let's keep focusing on your goal, why you're doing this in the first place. So it's been a kind of mix and match of dialogues, I think, is what's been helpful.
All right. Excellent. Thank you. Sandra?
All right. So I'm actually very grateful for my health. I don't know about you guys, but I've been concerned about this coronavirus. I've had 4 or 5 family members that have passed away, lots of clients and friends that have been in the hospital and are ill. So it's a little bit of I'm very grateful and I'm taking extra care of myself and my family. So that's good. The buyers that I'm working with right now, I think the biggest thing that I am doing for them is my buyer's consultation. So we're doing a Zoom consultation, and once a week, I'm getting on also either the phone or a Zoom call with them. But in the consultation, I'm explaining what's going on in the market, explaining that we can't wait until the weekend, explaining that they have to jump out at lunchtime to go look at this property, explaining that sometimes we have to write an offer without even seeing the house. So just being very, very open about how we're going to write the offers, what it means to remove appraisal contingencies. So I'm getting down and dirty with them, and I'm just like, this is how it is. If you don't, you're going to have to lower your expectations of move-in ready. That's not going to work. Move-in ready is going to put you, you're going to have to come up with more cash. So I'm just being very honest, and it's making it so that when they look at a house, if their budget's 700, if they look at a house that's 675, let's keep looking. I'm not shutting them down on it, but they're knowing, oh, that one's it's beautiful inside. It's probably going to get offers way over. So just informing them. And then I don't know if you guys took the Pathways to Mastery, but Brian did this purchasing pathway, and it's super cool. It's a really great guide for when you sit down with your clients, how to go through the buying process to just have them be even more informed. So I love that. And so that's part of the lessons, right? Is informing my clients, being in contact daily, and being informing them as to what's really going on in the market.
All right, thanks, Sandra. Thomas.
Yeah, I would say right now, I'm just grateful that my bride and I came through the majority of the pandemic as a stronger couple. We made a commitment last March that we were not only going to thrive during that pandemic, not knowing how long it would last, but to be proud of our behavior through it, both towards each other and in our community, and for me at work. And so, and we held strong to that. And we had a lot of, check-in meetings with each other, using something Brian dropped this nugget at one of the events many years ago, how he would check in with Beverly and saying, give me one thing I'm doing great. Tell me one thing you want me to stop doing, and tell me one thing you want me to start doing that I'm not doing now. And I use that on her, and she back to me. So just keep, because for me, it all starts at home. I can't do my job if home is in chaos. And because home stayed solid and loving, I had a great year. I was able to focus, and we had loss. I mean, I've lost 2 friends and 3 family members in the last year, none to COVID. We lost our dog 2 weeks ago, who was like a second son to me. So there's been loss, but through it all, we have found joy. So that's what I'm grateful for, is that it just, it didn't take me down, any of that. And then with buyers, one little trivial thing that I started doing last year for my own sanity, I put all my tours on a calendar invite. So every buyer gets an invite that they agree to, and all the properties are listed in the detail section, and the first property is the address put in the calendar invite, so they know where to meet, what time. And then if anything changes, because, you know, as you guys all know, properties are dropping off our tours left and right as they sell. I'm able to update that and substitute properties and so forth, and they stay in the know. And I won't repeat it all, but a lot of what Sandra said, just being honest with them and saying, look, you're going to probably write 7 to 14 offers. You probably are going to have to cut your budget at 650 if 700 your max, because you need that much room to negotiate. Things like that. Just being real honest with them, but positive, not like doom and gloom reality. Being positive, say, this is just how it's done right now. You know, and I got into real estate in 99, and we were in a boom in the Bay Area. And then I moved to San Diego in 03, and we were in a boom in San Diego. And then we went through the crash, and about 3 years into the crash, we were in a distressed property boom with multiple offers. And then in 2012, I started seeing multiple offers on traditional sales return. So throughout my career, I've been in this market repeatedly. So the strategies that work still work. You might have to add a few different techniques, but I'm just sharing all that with my clients. Like, this is normal in this kind of market. It's not unusual. Oh, and probably the biggest piece of information, the comps are for reference only. Don't write your offer based on the comps. It's mainly just to let you know how much over appraised value you're going to need to cover.
Great advice, Thomas. Thank you. Prerna. Oh, and by the way, I muted everybody. So when it's your turn to speak, unmute yourself.
Okay, so I think I'm one of the stuff which I am grateful for is the community which we have with Buffini community, because over the whole last year, you know, the networking which we do and get to talk with each other. And then, you know, I've been in coaching for this will be probably my 20th year. So we've made friendships where you can genuinely talk about it. Like, you know, here, like in this, even in this forum, like we all can all talk about our problems, like our marriages and our lives and losses and stuff. And that's really, you know, it's really a good place for us to be genuinely open about it and being vulnerable about it. So I really appreciate the community, and that's what I'm most grateful for. And I think that has kept us all afloat through bad times and good times. So I'm really I'm happy about that. I mean, lessons learned. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we keep constantly learning, so I don't have the answers for that. But for the buyers, I'm using the same thing, which Sandra has started using, like pathway to purchase. That's really good. And then, you know, basically I do explain to them that, you know, that I do understand what they are doing, because, you know, when we go for shopping for clothes, like when we go for a dress, like we go into the store, we try it out, we look this way, we would look that way, all of that stuff we do. And then we decided we take it home. And if we don't like it, we bring it back to return it. But we don't have that. Unfortunately, we don't have that opportunity right now because of speed and shortened showing appointments. It's like only 15 minutes you can go into the home. You know, we don't have the time. The buyers are just in there. If they're buying like $2 million home or $3 million home, they don't have more than 15 minutes to just go through it. And there is no chance that they can even go and look at it second time before they write the offer, because in past people will look at the home and they'll go second. And I explained to them that I understand their situation and I'm really sorry for that, but this is what it is. And so, you know, so that's basically, I'm working on that and keeping my morale up and the buyer's morale up.
All right. Thanks, Prerna. Melinda Flynn. Is Melinda here still? Okay, maybe she stepped out.
Forgot to mute.
Oh, there you are.
Sorry, I forgot to mute myself. I'm so grateful for this group and also for all the business that just happens to come my way these days. It's like, wow, I'm not even out there marketing much, but it's all from before, right? So I'm also grateful that I'm in my role of my social committee at my complex. I'm going to post in the chat box my latest flyer. We're doing a little event, non-event this Sunday where we're doing catered lunch or catered food. People have to pre-order. It'll be individually packaged and dropped off. And when they come pick up, they will have, we're serving free beer. And then, you know, just kind of a fun thing. We got the front all decorated shamrock style. So it's kind of fun.
And what about buyers? How are you addressing buyers?
Actually, we were one of 17 offers and we got that one accepted. That was a Buffini referral. And we got it accepted because we went through line by line on the points they can be more aggressive in the contract versus only on price. So I had to, they're first time buyers. So we went through, you know, you can waive home warranty and you can waive appraisal, but we talked to the lender just to make sure they were good with that. Just kind of talking them through all the terms that they can, you know, what it means to have a 7-day inspection contingency instead of 10 or 14, all that stuff. So they got it in 7 days. Goes by fast when you're inspecting a 40-year-old house.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh
Yeah.
my God.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Tanya, you're up next.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm grateful for just being healthy and safe. Thankfully, my family, kind of the foursome in this house at least, hubby and our one adult daughter and teenage son, kind of have like a 4-pack of just how, you know, where we go, just taking all the precautions that we need to take so that we can feel safe in our home and that we can feel confident in one another. So just happy about that we've all had, I guess, this like underlying respect in the house, you know, so that's been a really grateful thing. I unfortunately have had an aunt who's passed from COVID. So my dad is really just mourning that and really sad for that. It was a 30-day fast takedown. So that was sad. Yeah, what I'm learning, just trying to continue to challenge myself. I'm doing the 30-30, at least my coaching group is doing a 30-30 referrals in 30 days. And that's been a really cool thing. So it's just challenging me. I think that's probably been one of my biggest things is that I find I do need to be challenged. I'm looking into like my RE/MAX luxury agent. Maybe I'm going to take that on this year and how I can just set myself apart maybe in my area. And then as far as buyers go, just being creative on those offers and how I can set us apart, you know, opposed to those 17 offers. Like, how can I set us apart? How can we be, you know, more creative and just, yeah, if we're going to waive appraisal, do you have the cash to bring it in? Because sellers want a guarantee at this point. And so, yeah, just trying to bring value, I guess, in the same aspect of knowing that it's going to be not easy, but that I can rise up and I can still bring value for them.
All right. Thank you, Tanya. Carol.
Hey, so I'm actually just grateful that there's a vaccine out there and that our most vulnerable population are getting vaccinated so that, you know, we can see sort of the light at the end of the tunnel. And of course, for the wonderful, all the different groups that I belong to, especially the Buffini support groups. So the lesson that I've been learning, and man, this has been a tough one for me. I have a 2-year cycle that I tend to be in where I just kick butt for a year. And then the next year is a slow year and the next year is a really amazing year. And I totally know why. It's because when I'm crazy and busy, I don't do my fundamentals. I don't do the fundamentals. I drop off with people. And I'm not saying that they go and they use other agents, but they're not referring me because I kind of fall off. And then the next year, I spend the next year where I'm not so busy, just hammering, and then I start getting more referrals from those people. And then the next year is amazing. So last year was an amazing year. So I'm off to a sort of a slow start, but I'm also doing the 30 and 30 challenge with my coach. And it's back to fundamentals, you know, it's like, oh my God, okay, I'm going to totally be doing this. So, so that's what I'm relearning, that I just have to get my brain around and just, I cannot stop doing those fundamentals. That's the lesson. And then the buyer demand. So we're competitive like everybody else. It is so hard to differentiate around here. I just had a listing and I have 14 offers on it. All of them were 100% non-contingent. There was not one that was less than $30,000 above my list price, which was the price that the last identical unit sold for 3 months ago. And then it just went up over $130,000 from there. And so my education to my buyers is I tell a lot of stories. I do that as well. And in some cases, I know that it's going to sound terrible. I don't discourage them from writing offers because I want them to know that I'm there. If they really want to write an offer, I'll write an offer. But I'm discouraging them sometimes from joining the fray if I just know they don't have a shot. And I think Sandra said it, like, if, in her case, I think she said, if you have a house, they can buy up to 700 and there's a house at 675, don't waste your time. And I'm kind of doing that. If they're just going to be another offer on top of 30, or on top of 15, they're just feeding the frenzy. And I would rather them not feed the frenzy and wait until they find something they can really have a shot at, and then just go for the gusto. And they're getting that. They don't want to do that either. They don't want to get their hopes up every time and then get their hopes dashed. So maybe a little counterintuitive, but they seem to be okay with my honesty about their chances of getting the property. And so
Can I just say that I don't tell people don't write an offer on this house because you're not going to get it. I never say that. I just let them know, let's look at the track record in this neighborhood. We've seen that we've gotten beat out at 50,000. So, we either have to come in aggressively in a different way or just wrap your head.
I agree. I'm not just I'm not discouraging them either, but I hate to say it, but I'm just being honest with them. And they actually be honest because they're getting, otherwise, every time they write an offer, they think I'm going to get the house. And then they have burnout when they write 5 offers and they don't. Rather than not burn out on writing offers and write 5 offers on houses they have a shot at versus houses that they're never going to get. And so
by the way, Carol, it's I'm sorry to interrupt you. It's almost 1 o'clock now. I want to be respectful of everyone's time. We still have Lorraine, Brenda, Anne Marie, and Jackie outstanding. So, but if somebody has to leave right now for whatever reason, that's fine. I just want to put it on the table. Can the rest of you guys stick around for a few minutes so we can wrap this up and get this over to David? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jackie? You're muted, by the way. If you're going to speak, you have to unmute yourself.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I've got about 5 or 10 minutes, so I'm good for a little bit longer.
Okay. Well, why don't we just run through here then? Lori, how are you on time?
I'm fine. Okay. I can, yeah.
And then Brenda, oh yeah, Brenda's there. Can you stick around for a few minutes, Brenda? All right, thanks.
Yes, I might eat my arm off, but yeah.
It's such a good content, it's just the time flies. All right, Lori, why don't you go ahead and you can go next.
Okay, I'll be kind of brief considering a lot of what everybody talked about is kind of where we are. It's grateful for the groups we have and just surrounding myself with people with a like mindset. I've been reading a lot of really good books. The one I'm reading right now is the one, If You Are a Badass, a lot about pushing through self-limiting beliefs. So that's good. My lessons learned, it's the fundamentals. It's more about the relationships. And in terms of the multiple offers, I love it when I know the listing agent, and I've done this 24 years. So when I'm with my buyers, I, pick up the phone and make a phone call. And so warming up that even at the beginning, as soon as my buyers see a house they like, that seems to have helped where the agents are like, I'm looking forward to seeing your offer. So I feel like that alone is separating me a little bit. The other thing with buyers, I love what Sandra was talking about, the pathway. After I have my initial Zoom consultative meeting, I send out that to the buyers and say, this is kind of a roadmap that we're going to be going over. And as we go through each step, I go, so see, we've touched this and this, and they like to know the structure, but I've got a lot of different buyers that I'm working with, and it kind of goes down to, again, the communication, the little texting. Every one of them wants to make sure or would like to feel that they were my one and only client. And it's little things like this morning, after I sent the offer in, I got the confirmations like, okay, just letting you know they have it in the hands. I'll let you know right away. So it's trying to stay up here and managing everybody so that I don't, totally get sucked into one because it's exhausting. So those two things have helped me, I feel, manage this a little bit better.
All right. Thanks, Lorraine. Jackie, you'll be next, followed by Brenda.
Oh, great. Thank you, guys. Sorry I have to get out of here in a little bit anyway. So thanks for that. Anyway, I am, grateful for so much, but, mine and my family's health initially, but really being part of not only this Buffini group, but, extended Buffini family. And I just finished the advanced mastery program and kind of synergized with some new, interesting, colleagues of ours across the country, did the Odell's program. And so it was really fascinating to meet even more people and connect across the country. So I love growing that network and learning about people's market, and how we can incorporate and share, synergize together. Let's see. Okay, I'm forgetting the questions. Buyers. Okay, my first instinct when we talk about working with buyers, I'm concentrating on listings, so I don't have to work with buyers. And it sounds so bad. I'm just kidding. But the buyers, really, I would echo what everybody said here. I think we have to set expectations, educate. I like to share real-time stories and uplifting stories as well. Hey, this is how this person got an offer accepted, or this is how my client got another offer accepted. So I think we have to really try to keep the buyers in the game. There's a lot of buyer fatigue out there right now. And so, if they get beat up a lot, maybe I'll bring, Band-Aids and chocolate and wine and say, hey, hang in there, we'll get one, just sort of, just be there and let them know you care. So I'm trying to think, I guess that's it. Did I miss anything?
No, that's good.
Sorry.
Just, sometimes it's just the first thoughts are the best ones.
Yeah, there you go. Just rambling.
All right, Brenda, and then followed by Anne Marie.
Okay, sure. You saw me just go out for a second because I had to answer the phone. So that comes to the part about buyers. But before I go to that, the 30 for 30, I'm doing that. And I think my grateful things are all the things that I do with Buffini and Company and all the different groups that I'm in and doing the fundamentals. We don't hit them 100% of the time every day, but we do when we do them, it sure reflects everything, and all the reading and all the learning and all the different things we get from each other has really propelled my business in the last several years. The one thing I wanted to talk about buyers real quickly is because you all have, I think, different buyers than I have. It all sounds like you get to, the minute the buyer comes into your car or your space, they're going to buy a property because it's their primary home, maybe. And here, like just now, this is what's so difficult for me is, hi, we're renting and we're thinking of buying. And so then you have the thinking of buying, and you can't, just go, okay, call me when you're really ready. But I have, people that are ready, and then you have these thinking of buying. So, they want the whole spiel. It's going to be 30 minutes, maybe 20 if I can cut it down. But, and then and they do, a lot of people call and say, we want something for 250,000. Well, that's kind of, those days are a little bit gone. So I think my difficulty is really sifting through the buyers and trying to put my time with the ones that I know are going to really buy and have money to buy, and et cetera. And if you have anything to add, feel free.
You know what, though, these buyers and sellers that are just coming to me right now, I did those consultations like 3 years ago, right? I mean, so it's not like, oh, they're just calling me off the streets. It's people that I've been in contact with, and they were saying they were thinking of buying 3 years ago. So it's kind of like that,
Mhm.
you know, just
That does
add them
happen.
on your
Yeah.
cap and keep in touch. And
I have like a 3-ring binder every year that's about this thick.
wow,
That
that's
buyers that,
good.
you can go back and you keep them on your list. And yes, they do buy after so many years. So,
Mhm.
but anyway, it's just, I think the primary versus secondary home thing is sometimes a little different.
All right. Thanks, Brenda. Anne Marie.
Okay, hi. I'm grateful for health and that we got my mom situated in a memory care home last year. That took about a month and a half out of my life by that whole process. And if you guys have never gone through it, I don't wish it upon you. It's pretty horrific. Just having to make the decision that you have to remove her from the home. And we weren't really able to. I literally did one of the hardest things in my life, which was drop her off and drive off. Like that's what I had to do because she didn't know what the heck was going on. And we couldn't go in and get her situated because of COVID. And literally the gal came out, took her off, and I just started crying my eyes out. And then she fought it for a long time. Now she's so happy and her face is fuller, she's gaining weight, she's made these besties. But anyway, that was a big deal. So very, very happy that she's happy. And then buyers, okay, I'm having the weirdest thing I've never had this happen. Since December, I've had 6 escrows with buyers. So that says a lot that I got offers accepted, right? Every fucking one of them canceled. I've lost 6 deals in 6 months. So I'm ready to I'm like, okay, this is obviously the wrong business for me. I need to go work at Starbucks. That's where I'm at today. So I don't know. I mean, I could go.
Why did they back
We just want
out?
to tell you the scenarios.
Why did
On
they
the very,
back
very
out?
last one, what?
Why did they back out?
One guy named Joe, he, one was noise factor. He was concerned about having someone above him. And so he took a shot on that one. The first one, I think he was stupid for backing out of it. But now that he's backed out of these 2 and we keep going on, now his company just got bought by another company. He might lose his job and move to Washington. And I'm going to get nothing. That's that one. Second one's a past client. You guys want to hear all of this.
Well, I was just wondering if there was a common
the last one, and these range from, no, I mean, yeah, me. That's what I'm saying. I'm in the wrong business. No, the last one was a small one, because some of these were like 1, 2, 1, 5, some of these are pretty painful, and 500s. But this last one was a small one. It went really quickly, but she very quickly told me that she didn't, the noise factor, it's an older converted, But you know what I do with that one is I haven't even told the other side yet that we're canceling. And I've already lined up a new buyer, wrote the offer, and I'm going to do one of those. I've got good news and bad news for you. I tend to be really good at getting my offers accepted because of my relationships and the way I present my package to the other agent. I think we all know from being on the receiving end, when you get a shipshod package and the offer isn't filled out right and there's mistakes, it just kind of gives you red flags. So I really try to put my best foot forward on selling myself so that the other agent knows, okay, look, it's a crazy world and I feel good. If they don't already know me, I feel good about going into business with this person because she seems to know what she's doing. And the way I talk with them and everything. So I have to say, I have a pretty good track record of getting offers accepted. But this whole thing has just been really not fun at all. I've been very sad. I think, Sandra, when I talked to you the other day, I just had one left in escrow and that one fell apart. Can you believe it? Anyway, hopefully that will go in. I have a listing that's going on the market like tomorrow. That's an investor. I think I have the investor for it. So I think I can double in that one, that'll help. And I'll get the third leg when they sell. So I'm trying to look at what's coming because I've some big listings coming. But anyway, that has not been fun. So I guess for buyers, I would just say for me, a lot of what you guys might have said, but really actually selling myself and making sure the other side feels good about working with me. And that's really helped.
Thanks, Anne Marie. Well, it's 11:11, the magic number.
I'll let you know what Starbucks I'll be working at next week.
Hey, listen, by the way, it's just so that you guys know, I have a side hustle too. Okay. So, I sell property and real estate in San Francisco, which is this side. And then I also sell property over there in Southern Marin. But in between, I've got this beautiful bridge I'm selling in segments. So if you have an investor or know somebody that would like to invest in a bridge, I have a bridge to sell you. Lori likes that. All right. Hey, guys, it was really nice chatting with everybody. I don't want to hold everybody up. I think we had some great thoughts here, and I'll send the recording out to everybody so you have that. All right.
Greg, you didn't share.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
okay. I'll tell you. Well, what I'm really thankful for this group. I think it's a great brain trust, right? So I'm thankful for that. And then lessons. Probably the biggest lesson that I've learned is whenever there's more than one person, you're only going to have no personal problems or communications problems if it's you doing the deal to you, because unless you're me, and then you've got, you're constantly, talking to yourself. What? Yeah. But yeah, whenever there's two people, there's going to be miscommunication. So I think I've kind of learned that really the hard way this last week, because I felt, that, oh yeah, these two people, they can work it out. No problem. They're both adults. Big mistake. So I have to be real cautious about that, because whenever you got people in business, there's just bound to be misunderstandings and miscommunication. And so I think that's one of the things we're really, really good at as agents, and we can be even better at, is being aware of the personality profiles of the different people we're dealing with, and making sure that we, identify potential problems based on where they're at individually in moving forward. So that's the lesson I've learned. And then, yeah, the buyer is the same thing. I'm like Anne Marie, I've been very successful with buyers, but it's because I put those packages together, and I do my best to try and make my package stand out, and also make me stand out as an agent, so that I'm someone they want to work with. So that's been my success secret. So anyway, that's that. Thanks, Mark. Thanks for giving me a platform.
Yeah.
Of course.
Thanks for coordinating and facilitating, Craig.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's I'll have to report back to Pete and Kevin. Tell them, they told me they're both bailing, and I thought, oh boy, I can feel the power.
You can take over. You can take over now.
You did great. Bye, everybody.
All right.
Until
Yeah, you
Bye.
guys have a great week. All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.